Okay, so we are live on this magnificent Thursday. I'm happy to say that I actually know that it's the 30th. I almost did it. I told y'all it's like Groundhog Day every single day. But I'd like to welcome everyone that has joined us tonight. I know we're right at 1 minute after 7, and I just want to give some people an opportunity to come on in and join us. And we encourage everyone to like and share. Tonight we will be talking about weight and beauty, a subject that I believe is very, it can be pretty sensitive depending on who it is. And so I believe personally that beauty comes in all shades and sizes. I think it was who was it? The group, they said beauty is only skin deep. The Temptations, if I'm not mistaken. And I truly believe that, but although I believe that there are a lot of women that struggle with their weight, and society has this standard of what beauty is based on your size. And I personally, again, believe that beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. And so I have my lovely Kiantha here tonight. I have my lovely Lauren here tonight. I have my lovely Kanita here tonight, just being willing to share their journey. I think that you are some of the most beautiful women, period, and fly and all of that. And I wanted you all to be a voice for my ladies that are just, I almost hate to even say plus size, but because they always want to, put these categories. But for my ladies that feel like, okay, well, I'm not a size 6. You don't have to be a size 6, sweetheart, to be fly. So that's why you all are here tonight, to let them know, honey, it's a lot of living to do out there. Don't let that sign fool you. So, well, I'm going to try to not call my cousin her name that we grew up calling her. So I'm going to have to catch myself here. But we're going to have to start the conversation first.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. So let me first start by saying I was in my bathroom about 30 minutes ago getting ready I had taken a nap, and I hopped up, and the thought crossed my mind, wait a minute, why did Toy want me to be on this show about being overweight or my size? Look, I said, did Toy think I'm fat? That is actually what I thought, because, weight, I've been this particular weight my entire adult life. I'm not a person who yo-yos, because I think you'd have to yo-yo diet to yo-yo your weight, and I don't do that. But this has just always been who I am. This is the body that I'm in. This is the body that God gave me. And I make the best of who I am. So I really was shocked that you would include me on this show, but I guess it works, I guess. And I'll also say this, everybody, I don't care how confident you are, I don't care how strong you are, there is going to be some point in your life where you will have issues around your appearance. And as you're trying to even form who you are as a woman, there's going to be some different stages that you go through. I look back at a picture from not long ago, well, actually it was long ago, about 20 years ago. I had on this dress, and I remember that I got the dress from Vineland's Basement, I think it's called. It was in the Mall of America. And I remember paying like $50 for the dress, so I really thought it was cute. And I looked back at it on that picture, and I said, "Girl, why did you wear that?" So we gotta find ourselves, and that takes time to do. You don't wake up there. It's something that comes only with time, and as you get to know yourself, and as you get comfortable with who you are and how you show up in the world, that kind of determines how you are around weight as well.
Lauren, you want to jump in with? Let me ask you this, Lauren. And Tweety, thank you. I love you so much, but I knew that you could handle this topic or any other topic that I throw at you. But I want to go back to maybe our adolescent years, because I believe that is a critical time for young girls a lot of us, when you're starting your cycle, I know for me, it was probably one of the weirdest times in my life. Starting your cycle, back then and even now, it was all about the thick girls, you know. So again, you have some young ladies that are on the far thin side and a little thicker, and some that are in between. How was it for you, Lauren, in like middle school, like those transitional years for you, and especially too because you're one of our ladies who has the height as well.
And that was what I was going to say and start with. First of all, hello everybody who's watching. But it is difficult. I've always been taller than everyone that I was with for the most part. I've always been bigger than everyone that I was with for the most part. And in middle school, it was no different. One of the things that I think about now we have so many different options for cute clothes, but it's still hard to find good clothes now. Don't get me wrong. But when I was in middle school, it was so much harder. So you're already trying to see, how do I fit in? What's going on with my body? These changes are happening. And then on top of that, then I only got to shop at a place where everything looks like
Sears,
a couch cover or curtains. And so it's like, no, this is the movie that what was my saving grace was, the 90s, everybody dressed like a tomboy.
Yeah.
So I got away with a lot. It was in TLC, Aaliyah, people, you can have your jerseys, your baggy, so that was my saving grace a lot of times.
Yeah.
But it is something that you feel all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am standing out here, not necessarily that people, I've never been made fun of because of my weight, at least not to my face. But it's something that it's noticeable,
mm-hmm.
whether it was unspoken or not.
Okay. Kanita, and let me ask you this, Kanita, and anybody can jump in at any time. Because again, like I said at the beginning, society has placed a standard on us on what size we should be. When did you ever feel that your weight was an issue, Kanita?
I'm more of a person that I think that my weight has never really been an issue in terms of me having low self-esteem. If I ever wanted to be smaller or lose weight, I'm a fashionista. So it was probably because I wanted to, for one, be healthier, and which means that just because you're bigger, it doesn't mean that you're not healthy, because I've always been healthy. Okay, I don't have any problems, with my health. And so it's always wanting to really fit better into my clothes. Wear some of the other things that, I see that I probably can't wear, shopping, just like you said, going around, not being able to, it's extra hard, to find something that you like being a plus size girl. So other than that, it's never been a challenge for me. I don't think too much internally. I do desire it because as you get older, you'll have more concerns. And I'm approaching, I'm up there, I'm getting up there. So I definitely just want to be in the best health that I can be.
Yeah.
And can I say something to that as well?
Sure.
As far as it being, what I've been more aware of the older I get, is just making sure my health is okay. Because I would hate to say something to the masses and have them thinking, oh, as long as you're big, you're cool. Make sure you're good.
Yeah.
Because whether you have a belly or not, belly fat begets heart disease. Like, we have to just be aware of these things.
Yes.
Because now, since it's so much more celebrated to be you have it's amazing sometimes the different hashtags and clubs and pages and different sayings and tags that we put to plus size women.
Yeah.
But make sure you're good. And on the flip side, because it's saying weight and beauty, if you are thinner, make sure you're okay too.
Exactly.
Because like you just said, Kanita, health is completely different than weight. Those do not necessarily mean the same thing.
Well,
Right.
beauty is completely different than weight too.
Completely.
Because you can be any size and be an ugly person.
Absolutely.
I've seen some very ugly thin people and some very ugly fat people, and just bad, all in between. So beauty is not about that. Beauty is about who you are in your heart, who you are in your soul, how you help the world, how you show up. That's the kind of stuff that determines how pretty you are. Now, I'll tell you this, because I'm older than all of you guys, so I will tell you some areas where weight does cause a problem. Okay, now this is the truth. Now, Toya, you asked me to come on here, so I will. This is the true thing. So I wanted to buy. Do you guys know what a Porsche Panamera is? Do you know what a Porsche Panamera is?
What is that?
No.
It's a kind of car. It's called a Porsche Panamera.
Oh, an actual car. Okay.
Okay, it's an actual car. And so I had seen on, I believe the show was Being Mary Jane a couple seasons ago. And I was watching the show and she had gotten in this car and I said, what is that? Ooh, I like that car. And found out what it was. It was a Porsche Panamera. So I go to the dealership because I'm going to get me what? I'm going to get me a Porsche Panamera. Let me tell you something. My knees hurt so bad bending down that low. And then I wanted to ask the salesman if he could help pull me out the car when I stopped, because there are some things that weight does matter. You can't do everything everybody does. You know, there's some other little funny situations that I always make light of, but they're true. You know, I love to see women sit and cross their legs. I think it's the best thing in the world.
I can do it.
But if I cross mine, they come back undone like that. That's tough. That's a tough situation to be here. You know, I love how women can wear crop tops. That's, to me, you graduated when you can wear a crop top. That's not gonna be in my lifetime though. That's not in my story. However, it's good for other people. So anybody who says like, no, there's no difference between, you know, if you're plus size or smaller, that's not true. There are some differences. However, they do not equate beauty. That's
right.
And I love that you say that you've graduated. I think that how I take that is you've graduated with confidence, because it takes some confidence to be able to rock a crop top for a plus size girl. And that's the level that we need to reach, because at the end of the day, it's about you and how you make yourself feel. That confidence is extremely important. Be wise, but be confident at the same time. And you have to walk it, talk it, act like it, everything, in order for someone to really feel that confidence. When you're confident, it makes other people uncomfortable. When you're confident with how comfortable you are, and that
say that one more time.
Yeah, say that one more time, Kanita. Please.
When people are uncomfortable with themselves, with how comfortable you are, it makes them uncomfortable. So people are uncomfortable with how confident that you are. You can literally see the look on people's face when you walk in a room, and you're not even meaning to. You're just being yourself. You know what I mean? Because although I like to look nice and dress nice and things of that nature, I do it for myself. Absolutely for myself. It's not to show off. It's not for anything. It's just like I've always been that way. My family is that way. So I was just taught, because you know, I have a nice looking family. I'm going to have to say, you know, we like to take pride in ourselves. And that's what parents are supposed to do. They teach you to look nice when you go places and be presentable. You know, that's all that I'm saying. Don't take that the wrong way. It's just being presentable. But that confidence, it really shows not just on you, but people around you.
Yes.
And the
And
truth
I
is,
agree
people,
with-
if I want to say this before I forget, Lauren, because I'm old, I forget.
That's okay.
The truth is that people do almost, and this is not everybody, because you can't say everything about everyone ever, because that's not a real thing, right? There's too
Right.
many different variations of thinking and behaving. But there are people who really do think, if you're a plus size woman, how dare you be confident? And
Yeah.
how dare you dress nice, or
Yes.
like, how dare you be fat and quiet somewhere, sit down and
Yeah.
be quiet and unseen.
Right.
And that's not reality. That's not everybody's story. That
Right.
is some people's story, but that's not everybody's story. And we cannot control how someone else interprets what they see when they look at you. That's not, you'll never figure that out.
And I think that's the problem too, that people do expect you to be, oh, since I'm overweight, or oh, since you're fat, oh, whatever, plus, whatever, curvy, oh, fluffy, whatever two words people like. But they expect, since I am that, then I must have low self-esteem. So she probably gives men all of her money. She probably is the one that just cracks all the jokes in the group, and we just go to her for the comic relief. Like, we have to, like when you said, it's levels to this. It's on so many different levels that you have to evolve. I had someone come up to me, I was in the store, and she was of a different culture. She was a big lady too. And she walked up to me and she said, "You came in here with so much confidence. How did you do that?" And I really just, if you know me, my face has always gotten me in trouble. So I started leaning in, because then it's like I can't hear. So I'm like, "Excuse, what am I supposed to say to that?" And I said, "Well, I really don't know." She said, "You walked in with your head high," which to me goes to levels. And the level that you are, and which also ties into what you said earlier, Kiana, so where if beauty comes from within, that's where your confidence comes from too. You cannot paint it on.
Right.
You cannot bundle it out. You cannot do anything to make an appearance. And we are accustomed in our society to put on for everyone.
Yeah.
We want to be a cute hashtag. We want to be a cute picture, and then that's it. But if you are not confident within, it will show very quickly.
Yes. And like you said, that is for all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm smaller than all of you, but I still have.
Wait, do we know that for sure? Do you need me to turn sideways so you can really check? Are you sure?
I told you she would cut up on here, and we just don't know which way it's going to go. For all you ladies that are watching, if you have a question or a comment, if we catch it, we will address it. Sweetie, I'm not even going to go there with you right now. I'll wait until we get done with this live. But like I said before, beauty is inward. But when you say that, I saw somebody that put the comment, and Lauren said that, where you're cute for a big girl, or, to make those comments, it's like, oh, well, maybe you'd be prettier if you were, if you were smaller. Or, and for me, I just think a lot of it has to do, again, with society. There was some video floating around. I don't know if it was on Facebook or what. And I don't tend to take pleasure in people making fun of others. You know what I mean? It's one thing if somebody is being silly, like they want us to laugh with them, like they're for real just being crazy or whatever. But it was a bigger young lady, and she was getting it, like dancing her butt off. But I think that the reason why people were sharing it so much is because it's like, oh, she's bigger, so we're going to laugh at her. Why? Because she's not a size 0. You know what I mean? Like you said, Lauren, earlier, like, oh, I'm supposed to be the quiet one, go in the corner. But you all, I'm telling you all this, you all have a commanding presence. And I realize that some ladies that are on the fluffier side, they don't have that. They don't possess that. But that really starts within, because there are some women where you've seen talk shows where they were once really big and now they're smaller, but they still feel like they're bigger.
Yeah.
So the way that they treat themselves and what they allow to happen to them is based on not feeling worthy enough, because they're still Like you're still you. If I gain 50 pounds, I'm still gonna be Toya.
That's right.
If I lost the 50, I'm still gonna be Toya. And so for some women, that journey is not as smooth. But to hear all of you say that you've embraced it, we need to get more of this out there where women are embracing the beauty within, like you said, Tweety, because man, beauty really is only skin deep. And when you talked about people being ugly, see, for me, that's a big deal. I don't call people ugly by the way they look because none of us got a choice.
That's right.
I couldn't go to Don and say, hey, give me that butt size. Why you at it? Right. Going to throw some dimples in there. I'm here because of the people that created me. God allowed me to come. So I didn't have anything to do with my physical being. Okay. None of us do. Right. But what I can control is my attitude.
Right.
That's right.
So you said like that ugliness.
That's right.
That's when you have like the mean girls. And that's again, like Khadija, you said, your family. It started at home.
Exactly.
That was the key. It started at home. And that's why I keep saying we have to have these conversations because in order to get to the children, as right. has helped me before, we have to get to these parents.
Yes.
Because because I could be building a complex issue with my daughters who are smaller, like, okay, how many calories you had today?
Yeah.
You talk about body image because yes, I wanted to talk about weight and beauty, but small women have those same issues where some of them are starving themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the smallest women that I know are the most insecure. Even just famous people, celebrities, just following them. So a lot of them have shared their stories. Some of the most beautiful women I know have low self-esteem. You know, just because you're thin and, you know, you're very pretty, it doesn't mean that, again, like we said earlier, you're not going to go through the issues that normally people go through with regards to weight and beauty. The other thing is that please, we do have to make sure that we remember weight and beauty is two totally different things. Yeah. We're really in a day and age where everybody wants to walk around looking like a selfie. That's just what it is. We want to walk around looking like a selfie all day. Our hair needs to be.
That's not real.
That's right. That's not real.
That's not real.
Our hair needs to be on point all the time. Our makeup needs to be on point all the time. And the image that we're throwing out there for the younger generation is showing that we do have to have the smallest waist. You know, we do need to, have no wrinkles on our face, and we do need to. Our makeup needs to be popping all the time, and we need to have these bundles. That's the image that's being put out there, and I really do believe that the young people think that this is how you have to be in order to be comfortable with yourself.
Yeah,
it's not even just the young people that think that. It's
not. I don't know why I said that. It's totally not. It's
older people.
It's older people that's really, putting it out there. It really is. Everyone's getting the liposuction, and you're seeing these unrealistic figures.
Yeah.
Getting the butt injections, and you're not even looking really proportioned. It doesn't even look right. Getting your breasts done and living up to this image for really attention.
Yeah.
Acceptance.
And acceptance.
Acceptance.
To be accepted by, what's out there.
Right.
And most of the time, I think women, what I've noticed, I talk to a lot of younger women and older women too, but many times it seems like people are measuring themselves up against something that they have no access to anyway.
Yeah.
based on your life, how you live, what your resources are, where you are in the country, all of those things, you are not going to look like you are in Beverly Hills 90210 every day. That's not your story. That's not your zip code, and that's not your story. And so it's really difficult to try and measure up against that, which is why self-esteem is so important, that you don't measure yourself against anyone but yourself.
Exactly.
There are women who I think are just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. Toy, you're one of them. I've always told you that. Beautiful, beautiful women. But listen, I don't want to look like you. and you don't need to look like me.
Right.
And no matter what I do, I'm not going to look like you anyway.
Right.
And you're not going to look like me. So we have to get to a point where we understand that whatever is our lot, right? So our lot being our weight, our resources, our whatever our lot is, that's ours. We cannot try and hold it side by side to somebody else's, because that's not even real. And the things that you see on social media, so fake, so fake, so fake. It is complete acting. And so when you look at these images of, celebrities, like you mentioned earlier, and you see that they have this glamorous looking existence at all times, that's not real. It's glamorous when the camera is on and it's meant to be that way, but it's not an everyday thing.
Attitude. It's attitude, mentally. Have you ever seen a picture or someone that may not have been attractive, or even if it was just a picture, something that was what you would normally say ugly, but you found some type of beauty in it somehow. And that's because you've adjusted your attitude.
You've adjusted your attitude.
Because that thing didn't change. It didn't change. That person didn't change how they looked. That picture that you seen, that didn't change the picture. But you changed your attitude. And you were visually able to see something different. And it was beauty. You found beauty in something that was not appeasing to the regular eye, to the normal eye.
And that's I would even go so far.
Your attitude, your mentality on certain things. Once you change that, you dig within, and you're able to just be a little bit more free. And what a great time it is right now to be able to reflect on yourself. You got to keep it real with yourself. I always say, you don't keep it real with nobody else. Keep it real with yourself first. Okay? Keep it real with yourself first. And what's your attitude like? What's your attitude like? Ask yourself that when we sitting around and got a little bit more downtime. That's really important. This is the time to reflect. That's a blessing. To be able to shift energy, regardless of all the negative things that's going on. We have time to reflect on our attitude.
I know that's right. Tweety, you were about to say something.
Well, just that this. So when the thing that you said was that you can look at an image or a person and they be ugly, and then all of a sudden you say, oh, not so ugly no more. I believe that happens when you're able to see beauty in yourself. So only people who have a bunch of internal issues and internal esteem issues find things wrong with other people.
That's right.
That's who does that. If I don't like my head, then I'm gonna say everybody else's head because I don't like my own. But when you actually learn to accept who you are as a person and say, this is who I am, regardless of how you measure it on your totem, this is who I am, then you can see beauty in other people. So things that, like you said, things that you might have thought were ugly at one point can become beautiful because you are becoming beautiful. It's happening on the inside of you.
Yes.
I have a question. What do you think could have helped us earlier in life to get that confidence sooner? Because when I think about all of what we're saying, I know for me, it would have been, this is your lot. You have big feet. You are 6 feet tall. Right. There is nothing you can do. Like, understanding that concept earlier. And I know you saying your family input that, gave that to you guys. That's very vital. And if it can't come from your family, because sometimes it can't, I'm wondering where would it come from? Because we tell people not to compare, but I think instinctively you do that at certain ages in your life, especially if you're not getting the proper feeding at home. I'll say it that way.
Yeah.
So I think wonder what could have happened.
Unfortunately, we get our idea of self-image. We really get that as women from the women who we grow up with. That's where that comes from. So if you happen to grow up in a family with women who don't care about how they look, they don't take that extra personal care in presenting themselves well, then you're probably going to be the same way. If you grow up in a family like Kanetta's where they do care and it was very, clear, like, no, you need to be your best, you need to look your best, then you'll have that. Most of us fall somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
We're born into families where the older women in our families, the older generations, they haven't always had the tools necessary to even pass down the right tools to us.
Yeah.
So, we fall in the middle in this little gray area. And it really comes down to how you believe and what you believe about yourself. It's not about what anybody tells you. It's about what you believe about yourself. Because you can be the most unattractive. I have seen, listen, this is real. I have seen some women in Milwaukee, our hometown, where I think, Kenetta, are you in Milwaukee still?
No, I'm in Texas.
You're in Texas. Okay, so we got one person in Milwaukee, Lauren. So I've seen I'm not just talking about Milwaukee women because they're special. I've seen some very, very unattractive women, extremely. Physically, that looked like they weren't the beauty standard. And those women, you cannot tell them anything. Okay? You cannot tell them anything. They are gorgeous. In their minds, they are gorgeous. And so the reflections that other people try to bounce off of them, it don't even stick. It's like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? I could be on a photo shoot right now, but I'm not because I'm talking to you. That's how their self-esteem is. And I think that's a wonderful thing. If you can have that, that is really amazing. And that is not taught. It's something in those women, those individuals who are like that. Something is just on the inside of them that says, I am okay how I am, whether you like it or not. I'm good.
You said a key word.
Yes. Yeah.
You said believe. A lot. You can wake up every morning and say, and Lauren knows where I'm going with this. One of my favorite sketches in SNL, I can't remember the actor, but he'd look in the mirror and he'd go, I'm beautiful, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Like he would say that. Like I always thought that was hilarious. But you can get in the mirror and say, I am beautiful just the way God made me. You can say that every day. But if you don't believe it, you are just speaking words. That's it. It's not holding any type of weight. And so that's when Lauren said, like, what can we do? Lauren, I'm going to go back to these parents because like Tweety said, the home, So if I don't feel so great about myself, how can I transfer that to my daughters? To my sons? If I'm always critical of everything that they wear. Now, again, all of us on this call care about our presentation.
Absolutely.
Not in the sense of I have to meet your standard. This gentleman asked me that once. He was like, when you get dressed, who are you getting dressed for? And I kind of looked like, huh? Because he said he had asked that question to some other women. And they said when they get dressed, they're dressing for other women to outdress them. I said, oh, really? I said, that's sad. I said, because if I'm with you, I'm wearing what you like. I don't care what anybody else in this room has.
I'm actually wearing what I like.
What I like.
I'm wearing what I like, but still, it's like, this is fly. Like I'm with you. It's like, this isn't a competition for women.
But I think the bigger, so, I want us to be thinking critically about this. This is so much bigger than really beauty or weight. It is internal, right? What do you believe on the inside? Do you find value in yourself on the inside? Do you I'm not asking if your grandmama now find value in you. I'm saying, do you find value in yourself? Have you come to a place where you have reconciled all the pieces of who you are as a woman? Because those are the things that are going to determine how you really show up. It has nothing to do with how we look on the outside. All this changes. All this and what is beautiful to one person is not beautiful to somebody else anyway. So there's no way you're never going to check all the boxes because that's not real. So what is it that what is it that you want to be? How do you want to show up? What do you want people to see when they look at you? Do you want them to see, oh, her makeup is good or her hair is nice? Or do you want them to see she's a beautiful person? Now that's a beautiful person. That's the thing that you have to determine. What is it that you want? You want the low hanging fruit. The low hanging fruit is your eyebrows are perfect.
Right.
Your makeup is good.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's not, that stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. And honestly, as a grandmother, more now than ever, I really understand how that stuff does not matter. It doesn't matter.
And this is what two things I was going to say. Beauty is subjective. And if people realize that, you won't be offended. Somebody somewhere likes cockeyed. Okay? That's what they enjoy.
Yes,
Right.
they do. Yes, they do.
Right. But even if they did it, do you enjoy it?
That's right.
Or you don't have to love it. And you can look at yourself and say, this part about me, I'm not really cool with, but have you accepted it? Because as long as you've accepted it and you're not going out of your way to overcompensate for things, that's where it gets real tricky.
Yes.
Because it is all internal, and it's so many adults. We kept talking about, like, my issue and my hardest part was during adolescence. But the older I got, I realized it's so many women, older women, who are stuck in what would be like an infant state of acceptance.
Yeah.
And what we like to do is deflect that. So we'll be like, but I get money, or I get your man. That doesn't matter either, honey.
No.
And we don't connect it.
Yeah.
No.
Like, we really don't connect it that or realize that it's internal.
Yes. Yes.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
And y'all, for those of you that are watching, please bear with me. This whole trying to read comments, and some of them are coming up on the screen, but we want to make sure that we are engaged with you all. But there is a young lady that is watching, and she may be, I don't want to call her name out because I don't want to embarrass her, but she may be around the age of 12 now. But her mom just said that her weight has been her struggle. So that same age that we were talking about earlier, how young ladies begin to feel, if one of you, it doesn't have to be all of you, because she's watching, I really want somebody to encourage her, because I don't want her to be stuck in, because she's bigger, but I don't want her to feel as if, and as we talked about the beauty, maybe she needs to hear that again, about the beauty on the inside and not meeting someone else's standard.
What?
And she's 12?
You said, yeah, 12?
So
The mom is watching, or the girl is watching?
they're both watching. I just let them.
Good. Can I take this one?
Yes.
Sweet girl. Whoever you are. I don't even, I'm glad Toy didn't tell us your name, because that doesn't even matter. This applies across the board. If you have a freckle on your face, and I don't know if you do because I don't know who you are, but if you have a freckle on your face, there is nothing that you can do to get rid of that freckle. That's just a part of who you are, right? We need to have our thoughts around weight be exactly the same thing. If you are a plus size young lady, and I was a plus size young lady growing up, that's who you are. If you want to change it, that is actually something that you can change. It's your choice. But in the event that you choose to keep it exactly the way it is, you're perfectly fine the way that you are. Don't get caught up, oh my God, because that's a lifetime of sadness. Don't get caught up in what you look like. Get caught up in who you are as a person. Who you are as a person. It is not about what you look like. And if you spend too much time on that, then you're probably going to give yourself, a bunch of unnecessary stress. Just be who you are. Whoever you are, you're perfect. You are actually perfect the way that you are. And have you seen, just look at the plus size women on this video. Do you see these girls? I'm just saying. So please don't ever think that your weight is what determines your value, or that if you are plus size, you are in some way less than the other girls who are in school or anything like that, because that's not the case. That is not the case. And if you learn that right now, you can take over the world, literally. Mm-hmm.
She will. And the thing is, I'm so happy that you all are on here. I'll probably say it 45 more times. But I want everybody to, realize one thing too is that they make clothes in all sizes. So we have
That don't mean you
a
should
whole
wear them
other
all.
topic, Kanita. What you say?
That don't mean you should wear them all.
Exactly. We need. I don't care if you're smaller. You need to shop for your body type. But that's
Thank
something
you.
else. You have to shop for your body. Just because you're skinny don't mean you can wear everything.
It is a different topic, so I won't go down that hole too far. However, it is vital, women, period, to dress for your body shape.
Right.
If you are made like a yield sign, you probably shouldn't wear things that you see that's on a standard mannequin because it will not fit your body type.
Please.
The number can be there. And what people don't realize, if you wear your size, or sometimes depending on what material it is, the size will change. And how things are cut, you may have to go up. And some people get so stuck on a number that they're really doing a disservice to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And for the love of God, this is my grandmother coming out of me. Get some decent shapewear. Let's just do that.
Okay, Irma Todd. Okay, Irma Todd.
It will help you. And people are so focused on outward appearance, but it will help you so much if you start with wearing clothes that are appropriate for you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And not try to be like or dress like anybody else. Be like you. Be like you. And that takes time. As a young woman, you really have to work at figuring out who you are.
Yeah.
Even as grown women, we still have to, we're constantly changing and constantly learning more about ourselves. And so that's going to look different from time to time. But get comfortable with who you are and want to be the best looking you. Not you that look like something else. Try to be the best looking you.
I have two things. One is, and you guys can go from there, but Camille sent this to me. She said I can say
Oh,
it.
no,
it's nothing. We got you.
Okay.
But she said Steve Jobs said something similar to this, and this was going back to people being not having the confidence. But people are attracted to talent and beauty. Those that don't think they have it are threatened by it. This has been the story of my life. My confidence spills out and it offends others. And I can concur with Camille on that one, where you walk in a room and, like you all said, and even for me, walk in a room and you can feel it.
You can feel it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Feel all of the energy coming from people because I'm confident. And now it's, oh, she thinks it's that whole little silly. She thinks she better. Or people, let me tell you what they do. And Camille and I were talking about this earlier. It becomes the self-fulfilling prophecy. They assume because I look a certain way and I'm shaped a certain way that I'm going to treat them how they feel about themselves. And so what happens is you start acting a certain way towards me, which will probably more than likely cause me to withdraw. Not that I wanted to, but because of what you were giving off. And so then you go, oh, I knew she was
right.
She was that way. No. You got to get you together. And that's one of the reasons why I want to keep hosting these type of conversations, because our healing, it starts here.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm going to speak for the smaller ladies. Don't assume because I've been small that I've always felt this great level of confidence. Now, with my friend Tamisha, because I'm going to say something in regards to what she just said. And she and I have had these conversations before. This is what Tamisha said. She said, I didn't always see beauty in myself, but I always compliment beauty in others. I am just learning to appreciate my own beauty. And I must admit, that's a journey that I've been on. Camille and I talk about this all the time. We weren't always confident in the way that we looked physically, but I was never jealous of the young lady to my left or to my right. I think for me, my downfall was I always uplifted others more. For myself, So
one of the things that you mentioned is when you walk into a room, and I've had this experience many times where people will say things to me like, or they're not as bold enough to say it to my face, but they whisper it or it gets back to me. Like, who she thinks she is, and she thinks she better than somebody or whatever. And actually, if you are a person who spends 5 minutes of time with me, you understand that that's actually not the case. It's
Yeah.
not that I think I'm better than anybody. What I
Yeah.
think is that every single day, I don't take no breaks on this. Every single day, I get up and try to be the best Kiantha.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just try to be the best me. I'm not trying to be better than you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anyone else. I'm just I'm being me. I'm taking up my space. And when I was younger, I was really concerned when people would say things like that, because I felt like that meant I was doing something. Am I coming off a certain kind of way, or is there something I need to do to feed that part of them that feels less than? And it's really not. And what if a person were to say that to me today in 2020, that I think I'm all that, my response really would be, no, I think you think I'm all that.
You think I'm all that. Yes, that's my response every time.
Right, I think you think that. And I mean, I guess thanks for thinking that.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm just me. And we all got to get comfortable with that, because again, it is that confidence can make other people uncomfortable. It really does, because it makes them look at themselves. Although it seems like they're looking at you, they're really looking inward. When they see you, you're just a mirror to make them look inward at what they don't possess or what they want to possess. And it's not anything that they can't possess. It's something that they need to work on getting to that point.
Yeah, you gotta show up and show out and show up for you. You hear me?
Right. Yeah.
And people are they'll see that. That it just means that you got it a little bit more together in the inside than somebody else.
And that should be all of our goal. That should be all of our goal. Nobody should have a standard that says, okay, we all need to be a size 12. We all need to be this skin tone or this shape, or, because some of us, like you said, some folks are just going to be that yield sign, Lauren.
Yeah. They are.
And
be the best yield sign you can
lose weight, they'll be a skinny yield sign. So either way, that you just are who you are. But what are you doing? What are you doing internally? What is the internal work that you are doing to make sure that you are being your best? And if you're not doing that every day, then work on that. Don't work on trying to get skinny. Work on trying to be your best.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's not going to change anything. I know a young lady earlier, she talked about her weight size was kind of going up and down, and she still felt that she was fly. I wish I could find her comment, but like you said, I don't think, again, we're talking about beauty here. Beauty. And we're going deeper than weight and beauty. That's why like you said, those are two different entities. Lauren, you look like you want to jump in.
Like when you were saying, or one thing we can practice as women, if you see something in someone else, a good way to check and see where your heart is regarding jealousy or not, go tell her to her face what you like.
There you go. Yeah.
Or what you don't like.
Or you know what I mean? Do that. So it's a good way to gauge yourself. Because if I am drawn, when you walk in, I've gone to many people, and especially many women, and I'll be like, you are so pretty. Or I really like your blah, blah, blah. And I kid you not, it throws people off.
Yes, it does.
And it's like, oh, thank you. Or really, or then they'll start telling you, oh, it has pockets, or oh, I got this on sale, or whatever. And it starts a quick thing for them. Yeah. But go say something to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Camille is on a roll. I'm calling her out. She keeps sending my daughter messages. So I'm gonna talk about her. But she said they are uncomfortable and throw shade, but want to be in your space.
Right.
Now listen.
Because they learning something. They know. It's just hard to admit. It's hard to admit that you're around someone who you kind of want to sort of be like. That light just shines. You don't have to do much. It's just that light shining on other people that makes other people like, wow, and that should just be total inspiration. Like you said, that's a great idea to start, testing yourself, giving confidence to other women, because let's not fly by that comment that women do compete against each other. A lot of women do compete against each other. A lot of women do dress for each other. They really do. And that's a horrible thing.
But it's true.
But it's true.
That's strange to me.
It is.
Yes.
It's a competition. Who has the best this? Who hair looked this fly, and who makeup did this? You know, it's all really kind of silly, but you see the immature side of it. You know, sometimes I think it starts off as fun and games, but at the end of the day, when you go home and it's messing with your self-esteem, it's not a good thing.
That's
right.
That's right. That's right.
No, it doesn't. You know, Lauren, I want to kind of go back just a little bit, because when you said, like, where did it start? Like, for some of us, I think that adults, I'm gonna keep going back to us adults, because right now I could talk about us because I'm 40. I can't go back and correct my 12-year-old self, but I could talk about now. I make it my business that if I walk upon a group of young ladies or young guys, I will not single out one young man and say, "You so handsome."
Yep.
And then there are 3 other guys standing there, because our boys need it too.
Absolutely.
They've got some weight issues going on as well, how they feel good, or if they feel if they're handsome or not. And I'm not going to go to a group of young ladies and say, "Ooh, you so pretty," and it's 4 of her friends is just standing there. The reason why I say that is because when I was younger, my sister and I, Camille, had that happen to us multiple times, where an adult will come around a group of us young ladies and compliment one person, and then we'd be standing there. And we talked about this as grown women. We didn't talk about it when we were those little girls, but wouldn't say anything to us. I'm making my business, and this is for anybody watching, because sometimes people aren't aware. Sometimes,
yeah.
But if you're not aware, I'm gonna bring it to your attention.
Yeah.
Don't do that. If you don't compliment one, compliment all, because you could be planting that seed of insecurity in that child, and then they gotta fight the rest of their life. Or if you told the little girl, "That's too much chicken," but because she's a size 14, but the one that's a size 6 had the same amount of chicken wings as she did, you have to call her out. As adults, we have to be mindful of what we are doing to these children.
So crucial. And it goes back, seriously, I'm not a parent, okay, but you know, I've helped raise children, and I'm a natural nurturer, okay, but you have to really go the extra mile with your kids these days, because there are so many other distractions, and it's levels to it, like we said earlier, but you have to instill certain things into your kids now. You have to work extra harder now for the outside not to get a hold of them. Okay? For the outside not to get a hold of them. You have to really open up a book sometimes and share things with them. You know, watch a documentary together on certain things, but you have to be a teacher at home, literally. If you need to Google something and get some advice, you know, there's sources out there. But if you want your child to be the best child that they can be and not have to suffer and go through those type of things, you got to go through the extra mile. While you got your phone in your hand all day and on social media, there are truly other things that you can do every day to even help your child be a better person. Like you said, you do something on the day. What are you doing with your child on the day? For your child to realize that this is going to be a never-ending process. By the time they get a certain age, at least they can be well equipped and have some type of comfort with themselves, and all those other distractions can be blocked, because the parent really equipped them to be able to handle all the things that's going to come at them as young adults and adults. Spend time with your kids, therapeutically go through things with your kids, because they're dealing with things that a lot of people don't even know at school, outside, that pressure, that image that you're supposed to look like that. Kids are so cruel. Have you ever been around kids? They're so mean.
Well, let me add to that. It's not just what they're going through outside. Kids go through things internally in their homes too. And I will say this: my son is 29 years old, and my son told me about No, it wasn't even 2 years ago. It actually wasn't that long ago. But he said, you know, Mom, it's tough being your son. It's tough being your son. You know, that's a level of, I feel like I gotta live up to a certain thing and I gotta do things a certain way. So it's not always external forces that make our kids feel a certain kind of way. Sometimes it's us as parents inadvertently just doing the things that we do can have an impact on our kids. And so we have to recognize that, and recognize that even as parents, we don't have all the answers. None of us are going to do things completely right. And if it is not in your wheelhouse to help your children with things like self-esteem, then talk to somebody who it is. Find somebody who else, somebody who is a church member, a friend, or one of your coworkers, somebody who you know is solid in that area, and ask them to help, to step in and help you in that area. You don't have to know how to do everything. None of us do.
That's another topic, because that being okay with saying I don't have all of the answers. And as again, I know we were focusing on weight and beauty, but it goes deeper than that, because if you get to the core of it, honey, like I said before, you could be a 0 and still have all of these internal issues going on with you. So, Lauren, I always try to plug you in.
That's okay, because I was going to say this. When a lot of times I was looking at their comment and they said they didn't find the value in themselves. So that's how you know it's deeper than just surface things, because a lot of our insecurities come from childhood or when we were early on and somebody said something, like you said, somebody singled out the pretty one or the one with good hair. Please don't get me started on that.
That's
or
another
the one with, do you know what I mean? Like somebody said something. Oh, you have a birthmark on your face. What's that? Somebody said something that pierced and stuck. And you have rolled that out for decades without even realizing it. And that's part of the issue of finding beauty, is not being able to find the goodness. Now, mind you, we should tell our children the aesthetic things, but what are you good at? Because that's what builds esteem.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm strong with who I am. And so with my son, I say, tell me something good about you. And he just, like, I kid you not, we've done it many, many times. And he's only 6. And we've been doing it since like 4. And he still gets stuck. And so I go, are you a good friend? Are you a good person? Are you nice to people? Like, these are the type of things that we have to instill in children to build who they are. Figure that out. Once I figure out who I am, I could not care less about what I'm wearing. My appearance put together, yes, but it doesn't have to be a label, is what I'm referring to.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be the newest iPhone. It doesn't have to be because I am secure with who I am. And if we don't do that, we're doing such a disservice, because we're having all these dressed up little people. And if you look on social media, some of the outfits that they have, like the little boys in, they look just like your local dope boy in a miniature size, but he fly. I can't read my phonics are for naught, but I'll fly. And so we're doing a disservice.
But I think one thing that's also, because I always in this conversation get caught in this space, there is also nothing wrong with nice things and liking nice things and having nice things. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are a person that you like labels, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have not placed so much value in that, it loses. You lose yourself in the price tags or in the name brand. You don't want to do that. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to look your best or dress a certain way, or if you like designer things or whatever, that's up to you. I think the problem comes in when you try and live outside of your means. You shouldn't buy designer clothes if your light bill is not paid.
When you're wearing the designer clothes, it goes back to the conversation earlier, for other people. If you're doing that for acceptance, like, don't get me wrong, there are just certain brands that just fit me better.
That's right.
But it has nothing to do with, I have to let you know that this is such and such and such and such. I'll wear something from Target in a minute.
That's right. And you don't have to justify that.
Yeah. But but what I'm saying is like, yeah, it goes back to the acceptance. I saw that Jeannie wrote the comparison of skin color, hair, and size happened to myself and my cousins by the adults in the family. And Jeannie, I want you to stay very close to Women's Champ because that's actually one of our topics in a couple of weeks. I am doing a show on all shades because that's a deeper issue in the Black community when we label beauty based on skin complexion.
Wait, that's the show you should have had me on. Not
you are coming on that one.
Oh, okay. I'm kidding. But in terms of skin tone and complexity too, when I was younger, I was the dark kid. I was one of the darker kids in our family and my family. I was not, especially before a teenager, I would say. I don't recall my family being like, "Oh, you're so pretty, Tweety Bird." That wasn't it. That because people base beauty on what they think is beautiful.
Correct.
So if they are a certain skin complexion where that was celebrated, then they'll think that's the beautiful one, and anything outside of that is not the beautiful one. So it doesn't. The truth is, skin tone, complexity, those are also things that we cannot control.
Right.
We cannot control. And so if we spend time trying to worry about that, we are missing the opportunity to really be better people because we're focusing on the wrong thing.
Seriously, because we should be over that. It's so many things we should be over by now. We in a pandemic right now. We got other things to worry about. Like seriously, come on, like skin tone, your body, how you look, how she look, what she doing. We got so much other stuff to worry about. We really do. So much to work on.
Yeah.
And it's not just with women either, because as I mentioned, my son, I remember when he went through a period where he said, "Mom, I'm so dark. The girls don't like me. They like light skinned guys." Yeah, and that was a serious period in high school for him. They don't like guys that look like me. They want guys that have, really good hair and light skin, fair skin. And I'm like, I remember telling him like, "Oh, you just wait."
Right?
You just wait, buddy, because you are definitely the choice. So don't feel that way. But that you have to grow into that. You have to grow into that, and you have to have somebody that's in your ear saying, no, you are okay.
Yeah.
You're okay just the way you are. Even if what you look like and who you are is not what folks are picking today. Don't you worry. Your time is coming. It's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yes. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this as well, because yes, we do have other things that we need to be concerned with. But the truth of the matter is we have people that are watching. They aren't at the level of confidence that you ladies are. If I would have asked, I know a number of plus size women, but I know that they aren't ready they haven't fully accepted themselves.
Yeah. And that's okay.
I wanted to make sure that I put women on here that can say, look, I don't care anything about what my weight is on that scale. And y'all know me, I like to go deeper. I care about the weight that's on the inside of you. Be light as a feather.
Yes.
And be heavy as a boulder because of all of these internal issues that you will not face. And I will always drive this in every time we have these conversations. If you don't have people around you that are going to hold you accountable for you when you're foul towards others and to yourself, you need to switch your circle around.
That's right.
I'm not going to be around and be around women that's tearing another woman down, because I'm going to look at you like this, like that's really a reflection of you.
Right. And you're raggedy, and I don't want to be your friend. You said something that was also critical about the amount of weight that we carry around. I was a child who experienced an extreme amount of trauma. I even did a TED talk on adverse childhood experiences. So I'm telling you, trauma up through the roof. However, what I know is that I felt heavier due to the trauma than I've ever felt due to my weight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That, to me, now that's the show that I could have been on for real.
Yeah.
That is where it has never been a physical thing with me. And because of that, I would even be inclined to say that for some of the people who you mentioned, like you said, you have some other plus size friends who are just not there yet. it probably is not the physical weight. It's
Right.
probably the weight of the other
Yeah.
things that are
Right.
going on. Trauma you've
Yes.
experienced, or just, messaging that you've heard. It could be any of that. It does not have to be the physical scale weight.
Yeah.
And usually it's not.
Absolutely.
Lauren.
Part of the issue with what you were just saying, and I just lost my train of thought.
Find it, Lord.
No, look, that's okay. It'll maybe come back.
It'll come back. It'll come back. But while you're thinking about that, Lauren, this is just something for us to think about. Kanita, like you said, during this time, we have so much to work on. But man, just some of us it's those internal issues where you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough to do X, Y, and Z. Like it's affecting people and who they choose to be around. It's affecting people in what career they choose, because sometimes people feel like, well, I don't think that I'm good enough there. And again, all of this outward stuff masks what's really going on the inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And the other thing too that I would want your viewers to really know and sit with, like, you don't need to say it out loud until you believe it, but really sit with the fact that your body is the one thing that is with you this entire journey during your time here on earth. Your body is with you this entire journey. And so if you are mistreating your body, or if you are having self-talk where you're telling yourself like, oh, I don't like this about me, I don't like that, then that's going to be something that you're going to carry until you no longer breathe on this side. And so we need to be mindful about the messages that we are saying to ourselves. Also be careful about what we take in from others.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times we can't blame other people for some of the stuff that we go through. It's our stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need to accept that that's our stuff.
Yes.
And so stop saying all the negative talk to yourself. Stop, hiding from yourself. Be willing to show up as you are, and whatever that looks like. Be willing to show up as that, whatever that looks like. Not, I'm going to be better when I get a blank. No, you got to be better without.
Right. Yeah, it's only so long that you can use certain things as an excuse. That's over and over. It comes to a point where enough is enough, and as long as we got sources available like we do, this is a source. You can get better. You can work on what's inside.
I like that.
I remember what I was going to say when you were talking, Tweety, about the trauma that you dealt with. My thought was, can you imagine if she didn't deal with that trauma, how much more she would have inflicted on other people?
On the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is a huge part of it, because a lot of us say, yes, I experienced this, and we just stop there. But if we don't deal with it, we are going to be the same one. Whatever was inflicted on you, you will do worse.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that reminds me too, is that it's always a good reminder to hear people talking, is that you can never say too much. You don't know what somebody has been through. You don't know someone's story. It may be the reason why they look the way that they look, why they've gained so much weight. So, I can't say enough just to be kind. We need more kindness. We need more love. Everybody has a story, man. Everybody
and not fake kind. Not fake kind.
Not fake kind.
Because that fake kind is the kind that, unfortunately, a lot. Let me tell you who are the masters of fake kind. It's church people. Masters of fake kind will see you and say, how you doing? God bless you. And then it's before you can turn around, they're whispering something else, or they're thinking something negative. So don't be the master of fake. That's not good. Be really kind.
Genuine.
Try and be a kind person. And that is not always easy when there are so many people in this world who are not kind and who do messed up stuff to people all the time on purpose. It's tough to be kind when you're dealing with people like that, but you have to, that's almost like how we talked about the self-esteem. You have to determine in yourself, in your soul, that kindness is who you will be. That is
Right.
how you will be. And you
Mhm.
show up in that way no matter what people around you are doing. And that can be hard because even the best of us, sometimes I'll be wanting to.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
if I may, I just ran across a quote, and it just states that what lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you.
Yep.
Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just goes
That's the
back
truth.
to what you said. It's
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it begins with me.
Yes.
It really does. And so I have to decide to not play that record in my head of the negativity that I heard as a child or that I started to tell myself. I have to shut that off. I cannot expect Tweety to go on the live every day to pump me up. You know, a lot again, when we talk about
Yeah.
internal, external,
Right.
you waiting on somebody else to encourage you. No, you need to speak to yourself because,
Yeah.
again, like I said earlier, if you can keep saying that over and over in that mirror, I'm beautiful, but until you truly believe it, the beauty comes from inside. That's why
Yeah.
you all walk into a room, people
Yeah.
are drawn to you
Right.
because
And
they
can we just
see
talk? We always throw solutions out there. Can we share maybe a piece of what do you do in order to make yourself feel good, or to be a better person on a daily? For me, that quote didn't just come from anywhere. I actually, and this is a raggedy little cardboard where I had kept on my desk with a bunch of quotes. You
That's
feel
right.
me? I have notebooks after notebooks that I keep of quotes of my thoughts, my goals. I can look back from when I moved from Wisconsin to Charlotte to Texas, back to Charlotte to Texas. All my stuff is in my book. I wrote down my goals, my bills is written down, what I want to better myself in. It's just me. So I do things to help myself on a daily. And those things are okay. Go get you a nice little pretty book, read a book, some videos. But there are certain things that, maybe you all can share. What do you do?
Go ahead.
I'll let Lauren go, but I want to mention what one of our viewers said that she does, and this is from Megan. She said, I like to dress up, throw on a heel, dance a little. It makes me happy.
Yes, me too.
Whatever it takes. Whatever.
Yeah.
For me, I'll tell you something really simple, and this is really something that I follow in every aspect of my life. I like the good life. I like a good life. Listen, when I tell people that I'm gonna wear lipstick until I'm putting it on all up here.
Yeah.
When you get too old, your hands shaky, but your lipstick. Listen, I will have it on then because I love beautiful things. I love to surround myself with beautiful things. Mm-hmm. I love to create beautiful things, and that all of that's within your purview of things to do. If that's how you want to live your life, it makes me feel good. But part of the reason why I've been able to attach to that belief of beauty and beautiful things is because I personally do not believe that God makes any mistakes.
Yeah.
And so unless God went to sleep or went on break when I was being born, then I'm perfect the way that I am.
Right.
I'm good. He made me good. I'm good. And so
right.
I think, whatever I need to do externally to remind myself that I'm good. Either way, this is how I was supposed to be. I'm good.
That's
Those
right.
are the things that help me get through the day. But I think, some of the other suggestions, like Meg said, the high heels and dance, whatever it takes, whatever makes you feel, and especially since we're talking to women, whatever makes you feel like a woman, what makes you feel whole, what makes you feel beautiful, then those are the things that you should do, even if other people say they don't like you doing it.
Right.
That's no problem.
And for me, I like comfort and I like peace. So I do things that bring me both of them.
Yeah.
Therefore, I do not like inserting myself in someone else's lane. Yes. So once I find out I am at peace and I am happiest when I'm creating or being creative.
Yes.
So I try to do that. If I can't do it, which I haven't been able to do it as much,
Yeah.
I like to play music is everything. I am a fan of live music preferably, but if I can't have it, listening to music. And when I tell you my moods will go from classical to 3-6 Mafia real quick.
Oh yeah.
So there is always a level for me of music that will fit whatever I need in that moment. So music is good for me. I like cooking. I like things that just let me like kind of just be at peace and tune out what else is going on around me.
Yeah. Good.
Well, I don't do much, cooking and all that kind of stuff anymore. I used to, but I don't do those things now. But something that I try to make sure I do is take time to just find myself and to ground myself. And sometimes that means getting away from everything else and everybody else and just pulling into my own space. And when I do that, I find that I am a better person if I do that. If I don't do that and it's been too long since I've grounded myself, then I feel like my nerves are a little more frayed. I'm a little snappier. I'm a little quicker to, so that's, but I know that internally, that's not how I want to show up. That's not who I want to be. And so when I feel myself going into that direction, I have to go sit down and find myself.
And I think that is, when I tell you, perfect, because we tune that out a lot. We're too busy and the noise gets in the way.
Yes.
So we kind of disregard the fact that sometimes you have to disconnect. You have to pull a reset button.
Yes.
Or if you find yourself, since we're talking about beauty, you're becoming more critical of somebody else or yourself. And you have to sometimes stop and go, what's going on?
Yes. Cancel out the noise. Cancel out the noise.
Yeah, and do that. You have to do that.
Yeah. Those are all important things to do. I really hope that it's helping the ladies that are watching, because you're right, Kanita. Oftentimes we'll say these things, but we don't leave them with some idea of where to start. And like you said, you all had 3 different aspects of it. That's what we have to learn to do, is being in tune with us. Because some people, if you've been asked them, what makes you happy? Some adults can't answer that question.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they don't take the time to learn about themselves. And that's why I believe that we are at an advantage during this time. And I know that's a whole nother conversation, how some states are about to be opening up a little too soon.
Please don't go outside.
Please don't go outside.
Don't go outside. Don't do it.
Don't go.
If you do it, because you always have choices. If you do it, women who are watching this, if you do it, if you allow yourself and your families to get out too early, what will happen is we will be set back as a society even more than this happened this time.
So we're going to be right back in.
Increase. Yeah, because more people will get sick. More people will need access to resources that are not there. And the medical field cannot handle a huge uptick in cases in this.
They cannot.
So do not, if please don't rush out. Do not.
Yeah.
Illuminati trying to make you go out. Stay in the house.
Tweety. There are things that we can do in the house.
Yes.
And when I say in the house, yes, in the house, but in the house.
In the house.
Yes.
That's what's important. Get that house in order. So that you can show up for everyone else. And for me, I like to read. Especially if I know that right now I'm chasing my dream. I'm making sure that what I do lines up with my dream, my purpose here on earth. I know. So I'm reading books that are encouraging to me with people that knew their purpose and walked in it.
Yeah.
So that helps me stay on track. Lauren knows. She's my accountability partner. And if I feel like I'm about to go off, when I'm having a moment, that's the person that I'll give a call to. And I don't tell her everything, because like we talked about the other week, it's not fair for us to put it all on one person. You can't expect one person to be your all. For me, I start my devotional in the morning.
Yeah.
I have to remember, because I am a believer, I have to remind myself of who God said that I am.
Right.
I need to read his word. And if he said that he's going to be with me always, I need to read his word to remind me that when I'm having those moments
Yes.
where I'm not feeling like you here. So
Yeah.
I feel like we're, we could like keep talking, but as we come to a close, I would like for you all, one at a time. I'm really trying to be mindful of us showing gratitude and having gratitude no matter what it is that we're dealing with. What are you grateful for in your life right now, today? It doesn't have to be anything real deep, but just what are you grateful for right now?
I'll start.
Okay.
And from this conversation, I'm grateful that I have gone through the levels and gone through the hard part to accept myself for who I am.
All right.
I'm grateful for my peace. I'm just real grateful for my peace. I don't struggle a lot, with my body, although I do want to make changes. There's a couple of different things. I don't struggle with my image, although I do want to make changes. But I'll just leave it simple. I'm really just grateful for my peace. It's just me. I don't have any kids. I don't have a whole lot of distractions. I am my own distraction. Let's not sit here and act like I'm perfect. I don't want to portray that as well. I go through my own things. So to me trying to get to where I want to be, I'm my own distraction. But I do also, at the end of the day, find peace. So I'm grateful for that.
All right.
Well, my biggest thing is that I am grateful that as women, we get to keep looking until we find ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I'm really grateful for that. Because
Yeah.
if I would have stopped at 16, I would have been in trouble. If I would have stopped at the woman I thought I was at 21, I would have been in trouble. At 30, I would have been in trouble. So I love that we get to keep trying to find it. There is no human being that is perfect. No one is. No matter what they have, it doesn't matter if you have money, if you have whatever society thinks are the things you should have. If you have those things, that does not make you a perfect being. And the fact that you can keep working towards that space, keep working towards your best self. I'm so grateful for that. I'm also grateful that I know people who accept me the way that I am.
Yes.
They accept me the way that I am. And so when those people because we are always going to have them that say the things like we talked about earlier, that you think you better than somebody and all of that. I'm grateful to know that there are people who know that I don't think that.
Yeah.
Who know who I am. And I don't have to constantly be fighting that narrative.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that. And I am also grateful that Toya is listening to herself and to God and moving forward with Women's Champ and having these kind of conversations so that people can feel comfortable to talk about things that are things that we all have thought about. All of us have thought about. There's no person, I'm telling you, every time I put my leg up, I told y'all how fast it go down like that. Every time that happens, I think about that's something I need to work on. So there is no person that ever gets to a point where you just feel like everything is perfect. That doesn't happen. But just keep working towards it. And Toya, you keep opportunities like this conversation and other conversations that Women's Champ will have. You keep having these so that people can see this stuff in real time and talk about it with people who look like them, who may be people that they know or people that they can relate to. This is so important. So I'm grateful for that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all for coming on. I really, really do. I don't think that it's, I don't take it lightly. This is your time. I don't believe in wasting anyone's time. This network that I'm on, like you all know, I did not plan on being on anyone's network on a show. So I encourage everyone that is watching, please download the RETV app. Please, and it's been showing at the bottom of the screen, but please download the app. The owners are really trying to push people that look like us in a positive light. And when we start talking about these messages that we've received as a girl as a little girl, what I saw as beauty, they didn't look like me. So I internalized that there was something wrong with me as a girl of color, that maybe they don't think we're pretty. So that's why in a couple of weeks, we will be talking about all shades. That will be the title of that show. And you all are definitely welcome to come back. But I'm grateful for this platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm telling you this because this was not my choice. I thought I was just going to do a one-time Instagram live. Ty saw it, was like, Toya, let me talk to you. And every week I've been very sensitive to God. What is it that these ladies or these people, not just the ladies, because the men need to understand us.
Yes.
That's why I had to have the brothers on last week, but they need to be able to understand us. But I want us to get to the place where we understand ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for this platform where I'm able to have these real conversations with women where we may not agree, but we still can respect one another. And where we are, I'm grateful for those of you that are watching, that are supporting women. Yeah. We ask that you like, that you share, because somebody may not be able to have tuned in tonight, but they can watch it later.
Yes.
I'm so grateful for that. Next week, I hope everybody can tune in because we will be talking about women that have suffered the loss of a child. And I wanted to honor them because I believe that there are a number of ladies out there that Mother's Day can be really challenging for them.
Yes.
Because they don't have their child. And some have gone on to become mothers, but they still have that pain. So I have a few ladies that are going to come on and be willing to talk about their experiences.
That's awesome.
Of loss.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Let me just say that too, because I'm very grateful for you, Toya, and this outlet that we have. We don't have to be celebrities to do this. This is just straight, pure therapy, for all of us. And we, as women, we need this. As a community, should I say, that we need this and we need it now. And so I just hope that you gain more, viewers and talk about the vision, a lot, my vision, your vision. I'm so with you 100%, and we'll do anything to back you up and help you with your dream. So just know that, but I think that you're doing a good job. And I just think that this is awesome. This is helping so many people. You probably won't even believe it, but you will soon because it'll get to a place that it'll make you smile much more in the inside, but you'll be blessed as you are now. But thank you.
And definitely for the people who are watching, make sure that they subscribe and like all of the things that all of the people on the Women's Champ that they get a chance to meet are doing, because that's the way we support each other also, is by supporting what someone else is working on and what their dreams and goals are. That is important. If you can't walk up to a lady, you don't feel comfortable enough to walking up to other women and saying, "You are so beautiful." Well, like her stuff. That's one way of doing it. Like it, and share it and tell other people about the good information. Yeah.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, Women's Champ is providing a platform for things that we're dealing with anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me well enough, Toya, to know I enjoy confrontation because I hate tiptoeing around things.
Yeah.
I don't like arguing. People usually I enjoy confrontation because it means I am addressing what's going on. Right. And for so long, we know things that are happening within our community, but it's just left unspoken and we just won't really deal with it. But this platform is giving people the opportunity to, like you said, Kiantha, talk with people that they know, talk with people that they don't know, but can connect with, because it's saying, I see you. I also have experienced that. You know, the Me Too movement can be more than one thing, but it's like, oh, you have that too? Great. And we can build connections and healing. Really, a lot of it is from each other when we can't pull it from ourselves. So I think this is absolutely beautiful. I love that it's happening.
Yeah. Toya, what are you grateful for? You don't get away from that. What are you grateful for?
I said I'm grateful for this platform.
Oh, okay.
Another one, a better one.
She's a better one.
I'm going to be so nice because Ty still has this rolling live. In the words of my grandmother, I don't want to say anything unseemly.
Perfect.
So I'll answer the question.
Thank you.
I am grateful that I chose to not allow fear to keep me stagnant
Yeah.
because I knew what I was called to do.
Mhm.
But it was like, if I start this, because of my personality, I don't like to start and finish something.
Mhm.
It was if I started, I got to keep going. I had all of these questions in my head. So I moved beyond the fear that I had on the inside and all of my self-talk of the self-doubt. And because I chose to step out of fear, and this is going to encourage someone, I'm grateful for this. When I challenged the fear, it opened this opportunity.
Yeah.
If I had never done that Instagram live, if I had never made the post and encouraged people to watch on Instagram, we would not be on RETV tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful, and I'm trying to get better at pumping me up. I did that on the video.
That's why I asked the question again. Boom.
Got you. Got it. Got her.
Sweetie, I knew you were gonna come on here and just try to check me, but
Well, because I want you to really understand that you're changing the world.
Yeah.
All of us are. Anytime you put out of yourself to make someone else's journey a little bit lighter, you are changing the world. And so I want you to know that even through Women's Champ, you're changing the world, Toya. And I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you all for hanging in there with us, for watching with us. Ladies, you three, please don't go off just yet. Ty is just going to end the live, but I just want to tell everyone we really thank you for hanging in there with us, watching the show, engaging. We appreciate it. And I hope that everyone has a fantastic night.
That's right.
Bye.